Giving up is easy. No longer moving forward is easy. Dying is easy. If they are so easy, then what is the point of carrying on? What is the point of trying again and again? Now, if I sound like a post you see on r/I'm14 and this is deep, then it means I've got the message across. That's because today's case study is one of the faces of the Mount Rushmore of edgy teen anime, Akame Ga Kill. Now, this show is well renowned for being somewhat of an edgelord anime, but beyond its Game of Thrones-esque character survival rate lies a story about survival, which is quite ironic if you've watched the show. However, it's a tale about resilience and the indomitable human spirit. Today, I'll explore how Akame Ga Kill teaches us about what it means to live and fight for something bigger than yourself. At its core, Akame Ga Kill paints a vivid picture of a broken world. A world where power corrupts, justice is twisted, and survival feels like an impossible uphill battle. The Empire's leaders revel in its cruelty and greed, oppressing their people with an iron fist. It's a society where the strong dominate the weak, and hope is a rare commodity. In this grim setting, survival takes on a whole new meaning. It's not just about staying alive physically, it's about maintaining your humanity and sense of purpose when everything around you tries to strip it away. Night Raid, the central resistance group, embodies this struggle. They're not heroes in the conventional sense. They're assassins who operate in the shadows, using brutal methods to achieve their goal of overthrowing the Empire. God, this really does just sound like every 14-year-old boy's dream, doesn't it? Akame, the group's titular character, exemplifies what survival looks like in this broken world. Quiet, disciplined, and deadly. She's a warrior shaped by countless battles and personal loss. Her stoic exterior hides the emotional toll of her actions. Akame is a survivor, but her survival isn't without cost. Every life she takes weighs heavily on her, and her ability to push forward despite that burden speaks volumes about her resilience. Then there's Tatsumi, the audience's entry point into this harsh reality. Unlike Akame, he starts out hopeful and idealistic, believing he can change the world without sacrificing his values. His first encounter with the Empire's cruelty, the death of his childhood friends, is a brutal awakening. As he joins Night Raid, Tatsumi is forced to confront the uncomfortable reality that survival in a world this broken often requires compromise. His journey is one of growth, as he learns to balance his ideals with the harshness of his surroundings. This struggle for survival isn't confined to the realm of anime. In the real world, many people face systems that feel insurmountable. Corruption, inequality, and systematic oppression aren't just fictional constructs. They're very real challenges that countless individuals and communities battle every day. For those living under such conditions, survival means more than just existing. It's about finding ways to resist, adapt, and fight back against the forces that threaten to crush them. In Akame Ga Kill, survival is also a question of priorities. Night Raid doesn't just fight to bring down the Empire. They fight to protect the innocent and give people a chance to build a better future. The idea of survival in the face of adversity resonates deeply with anyone who has faced hardship. Whether it's personal struggles like financial difficulties, health issues, or emotional trauma, or larger societal battles against injustice, the core message of Akame Ga Kill remains the same. Survival is more than just endurance. It's about finding meaning in the fight and holding on to hope, even when it feels like the world is against you. Akame Ga Kill teaches us that survival isn't just about winning, it's about continuing to fight no matter how dire the circumstances. The character's determination to push forward, even in the face of overwhelming odds, is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It's a reminder that while the world may be broken, we have the power to resist, adapt, and keep moving forward. It might be simple to say from behind our screens, a screen that should show that you subscribe to this channel, if not, subscribe now, that surviving is easy. To us, survival is making sure we don't sleep through our alarms and end up missing our crowded bus to work. But in the world of Akame Ga Kill, survival is much more than that. Their survival comes at a cost, and not just a monetary one. If there's one thing Akame Ga Kill does better than most, it's showing how much survival really costs. Night Raid isn't made up of untouchable, larger-than-life heroes. They're flawed, complex people, and people fall. As the story unfolds, we witness one heartbreaking loss after another, as each member of Night Raid lays down their life in the name of revolution. Their sacrifices aren't just dramatic, they're deeply personal and impactful, leaving scars on both their comrades and the audience. But if it means their friends and families get to live another day, then they have no qualms with paying for that day with their life. Take Bulat for instance. This guy's a walking tank with a heart of gold, the kind of character you can't help but root for. He is what many would class as the quintessential hero. I mean, look at that pompadour. In the show, he steps up as a mentor to Tatsumi, teaching him what it means to fight with honor and conviction in a world drowning in corruption. But Bulat's story doesn't end in the typical hero fashion. When he sacrifices himself in battle, it's just not another death. It's a defining moment for Tatsumi. Bulat's final act forces Tatsumi to confront the brutal reality of their mission and mature in ways he never anticipated. It's a gut punch for the audience, but also a reminder. Nothing worth fighting for comes easy, and survival is not easy. Then there's Chelsea, who operates with stealth and cunning, often choosing deception over brute force. Her death is another turning point, not just for Night Raid, but for the revolution itself. She risks everything to take down a dangerous foe, fully aware that it's a one-way mission. Her sacrifice underscores the harsh truth that change doesn't just demand bravery, it requires a willingness to pay the ultimate price. These moments aren't just fodder for shock value, they're reflective of real life. Think about those who have laid down their lives for the future, for the survival of identity, rights and peace. Some of these costs may not always be as dramatic as they are in Akame Ga Kill, but the principle remains the same. Change and survival demand sacrifice. It might be time, relationships, even personal safety. These sacrifices, both big and small, are the building blocks of progress. Even in everyday life, we see these themes play out. Maybe it's standing up for someone even when it risks your own reputation. The characters in Night Raid remind us that sacrifices aren't just dramatic acts of heroism, they're everyday choices to prioritize the greater good over personal comfort. So with all this death, what truly keeps Night Raid going? I mean, yes, they do want to free the world from devastation, but we can't relate to that. Well, at least I can't. I don't know about you lot. But what I can relate to is another reason why they fight. For each other. For all the bloodshed and heartbreak, Akame Ga Kill still finds time to show us the importance of human connection. The members of Night Raid aren't just comrades, they're a family, bound by trust, shared pain, and an unwavering commitment to one another. This dynamic adds an emotional depth to the story that makes their sacrifices all the more impactful. Take Leon for instance.
Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy?
She's a standout member of the group, not just for her strength and combat skills, but for her personality. Leon is the life of the party, always cracking jokes and keeping the mood light, even when things get grim. Her sense of humour is infectious, and her carefree attitude acts as a counterbalance to the heavy reality of their mission. But her jokes and smiles aren't there for comic relief. They're survival tools. Leon's ability to find levity even in the darkest moments is what keeps the group grounded. Her humour becomes a shield not only for herself but for everyone around her, allowing them to push through the hardships together. The idea of finding strength in others is something we can all relate to. When life throws us curveballs, it's our friends, family, and support networks that help us get back up. Whether it's a tough day at work, a personal setback, or a moment of deep grief, the people we surround ourselves with make all the difference. Leon's role within Night Raid mirrors what our own support systems do for us. They remind us that we don't have to face everything alone. What makes Night Raid's bond so poignant is that it flourishes despite the ever-present threat of loss. They know that they could lose each other at any moment, yet they refuse to let fear hold them back. Instead, they lean into these connections, cherishing every laugh, every shared meal, and every moment of friendship. It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of tragedy, the human connection is what keeps us going. For all its bloodshed and tragedy, Akame Ga Kill is also a celebration of the bonds that keep us human. It shows us that no matter how tough things get, the relationships we build and the love we share can give us strength to keep fighting, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Finally, let's talk about heroism. I know this is slightly left field for this topic, but bear with me. Akame Ga Kill isn't interested in giving us a simple good versus evil narrative. Night Raid fights for justice, sure, but their methods are far from clean. They're not out here with shining swords, slaying dragons. They're assassins, deceivers, and survivors who'll do whatever it takes to topple the corrupt empire. They may have noble goals, but their actions are often morally ambiguous, forcing us to question what it really means to survive, and how survival doesn't always mean doing the right thing. Tatsumi's journey is a perfect reflection of this moral grey area. At the beginning, he's this naive farm boy with a clear-cut view of the world. Good people fight evil, and that's that. He joins Night Raid with a sense of justice, thinking that all heroes are pure and righteous. But as he fights alongside the group, he quickly realizes that heroism isn't so simple. Sometimes being a hero means dirtying your hands. It means making difficult choices, choosing between what's right for the greater good and what's right on a personal level. Tatsumi's journey from innocence to understanding is a painful one, as he witnesses betrayal, deception and death, each a stark reminder that survival often requires compromising values you once held dear. In real life, we see this complexity all the time. People we admire often faced with impossible choices, whether they're standing up to corruption or simply making tough calls in their personal lives. They don't always get it right. Sometimes they take shortcuts, make mistakes, or bend their morals for a moment of success. But what matters isn't that they're flawless, it's their willingness to try, to keep fighting, even when the path forward is blurry and filled with ethical grey areas. Akame Ga Kill takes this to the next level though, making heroism not just about winning or doing the right thing, but about surviving and continuing to live on despite the sacrifices made. The characters, especially Tatsumi, come to realize that heroism is about carrying on, even when it feels like the weight of the world is too heavy to bear. It's about making tough choices, picking yourself back up after every loss and doing whatever you can to move forward, and doing whatever you can to move the needle towards a better future, even when the fight itself feels never ending. The series twists the meaning of sacrifice and makes it almost a dark figure. It implements the idea that survival and being good are mutually exclusive, and damn does it show that. Anytime one of the Night Raid members decides to do anything remotely heroic, they die. In the story, it shows that to survive, you must sometimes turn your back on doing the right thing. This is highlighted in Tatsumi's sacrifice after he defeats the Emperor. Why sacrifice yourself in order to save a few dozen townsfolk when you've already saved thousands? It puts us in this moral dilemma of, how much bad does it take to make good no longer good? In this way, the series challenges our perception of heroism, forcing us to think about what makes someone a hero. It's not perfection, but persistence. It's not about being clean, but about pushing forward, no matter how messy the journey becomes. And sometimes, pushing forward means we can no longer call ourselves good. All in all, Akame Ga Kill is more than just an action-packed anime. It's a story about survival, sacrifice, and the human spirit. It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, we have the power to fight for what matters. The characters of Night Raid may live in a fictional world, but their struggles hit close to home. They show us that change isn't easy, loss is inevitable, and the path forward is rarely clear. But they also remind us that hope and resilience can shine through, even in the darkest times. Whether it's standing up to injustice, navigating personal challenges, or simply trying to stay true to yourself, the lessons of Akame Ga Kill are ones we can all carry with us. So as we wrap up this journey through the world of Night Raid, take a moment to reflect on what you're fighting for and the strength you have to see it through. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, goodbye.